Are you thinking about moving to Asheville, but you're not sure where? Today, we're looking at 5 smaller towns right around Asheville that are a little bit more affordable, scenic, and still close. Welcome to Exploring Asheville Metro Part 3. Hi, I'm Beth Schadler with Tried and True Realty, powered by EXP. And we are living in Asheville, where we explore what it's like to live, eat, work, sleep, play in Asheville, North Carolina. We help people move to the area every day. So please feel free to reach out via email, text, call, carrier pigeon, whatever your pleasure. We are glad to help you explore the possibility. It is our passion and our pleasure to help walk you through it. So here we go. Here are 5 different towns right around Asheville that are just as good. Number 1, Alexander. Alexander is located on the French Broad River and right off North Carolina Highway 251. It's 3.3 miles away from Weaverville, which is on the opposite side of I-26. So northwest of Asheville, about 20 minutes. Alexander got its own post office zip code, 28701, in 1881, quite a while ago. It's really close to what's called Ledges Whitewater Park, where they built a hole for kayakers so they can just like surf around and hang out, or you can have a picnic and dogs can play. It's a little bit less expensive than Weaverville is, but really close in proximity as well. Residents say it's quiet. There's little to no traffic really in Alexander. It's kind of a little bit off the beaten path, but not so far away in distance. It's only 10 minutes to Weaverville proper, pretty much, depending on where you're going, and there are not really stores in Alexander per se. It's about 15 minutes to Marshall, North Carolina too, which does have a bit of a hub and a downtown and some fun things happening. It's the last community in Buncombe County before you get into Madison County. And again, the French Broad River is right there. River runs through it and there's lots of fun rapids and ways to play. A lot of the people there are of an older demographic as well. Now, one of the downsides to Alexander is the Panther Branch Road landfill. So the Buncombe County landfill is not that far away. It's located right in Alexander, which, you know, attracts some different wildlife and some buzzards, but it also attracts some bald eagles too, so. Another resident said, I love the rural farmland feel. It's nicely located from Weaverville and Asheville and Marshall. It's very central. But what they don't like is all the housing developments that are coming in there right now and being built. There are a lot of houses being built right there. They said that there's a lot of increased traffic from it and that 20 houses have been built around this person in the last 3 years. So they've lived there for over 33 years, but they have never seen so much building as they see now. Number 2, Barnardsville. Barnardsville is 24 minutes drive time from Asheville and about 15 minutes from Weaverville on the northeast side. There's a lot of bohemians and naturalists that live out there that have moved out of Asheville proper because they want more land or more space, or maybe affordability was an issue. It's surrounded by nature and the Pisgah National Forest, and Craggy Gardens is not far away either, which has some waterfalls called Douglas Falls and some beautiful hikes. Plus, the Ivy Creek runs right through Barnardsville, which is renowned for fly fishing and kayaking even. And the Barnardsville area is retreat central. There's Mandala Springs and Soham, and this is the place, because it's surrounded by nature probably and very peaceful, that a lot of retreat centers are based. So if you're looking for a massage or yoga or a weekend getaway, you don't have to go very far. Mandala Springs also has a chocolate factory that is delicious. Residents say that Barnardsville is lovely and seems mostly untouched by the amount of people that are coming into the area. So if you're looking for a more country area that's less affected, you might want to try out there. The prices are a bit better still, even, than Weaverville or other areas. And it's kind of like the next Weaverville, we think. We don't know. But it's a little bit of a longer drive to Asheville, but not terrible. And Weaverville and Mars Hill are easily accessible. Some of the cons might be there's not so much to do in Barnardsville. Like I said, it's surrounded by nature, so there's not a ton of restaurants or nightlife or things like that for entertainment. There's not even really big grocery stores or shopping in the area. So you kind of have to plan your time accordingly. And there's an elementary school there, but not a high school. Number 3, Fletcher. Fletcher is its own town with its own government and its own rules and restrictions and advice and all that jazz. It has about 8,000 people that live there. It was originally developed in the 1800s as a limestone resource and has a rich history of industry with the limestone quarry. So some pros about living in Fletcher and why you might want to consider it. It has lower prices than Asheville does, close proximity to getting on I-26, which they say is almost finished. They have a big goal in mind. You can get more acreage and more space in the Fletcher area. It's more of a countryside place, and you'll see homesteads out there because there's less restrictions. And some of Fletcher's in Henderson County, so that also means the tax implications are less as well. A lot of the moms rave about the great playgrounds in Fletcher and the park. The park is called Biltmore Community Park, and it's recognized as one of the best family parks in western North Carolina. There are miles of hiking trails and walking trails. There's Cane Creek and countless other amenities there. And Fletcher is also really convenient for shopping, and anything that you might need is really close nearby. It's really close to Pisgah National Forest as well, and it's about 15 minutes to get on the Blue Ridge Parkway. Some cons of Fletcher might be that you don't really have a lot of things to do, like nightlife, kind of similar, and that you might have to go to Hendersonville or Asheville to really experience any kind of entertainment. Number 4, Mills River, North Carolina. Again, it's its own town with its own government in South Asheville. Mills River has a population of about 7,000 people. It's across I-26 on the south side from Fletcher. It's actually closer to Hendersonville than it is to Asheville. It's about 15 minutes from Hendersonville and about 27 minutes to Asheville. And that can get backed up when I-26 gets backed up. The town took its name because it is the confluence between Mills River and the French Broad River. It's also really close to the airport, so if that's important to you to be able to get in and out of the airport really quickly, then Mills River is probably a great choice for you. It's known for its great school ratings as well. Sierra Nevada built a big brewery there that has lots of live events and gathering opportunities, and it's just a fun place to take guests from out of town and even your kids. And the Mills River area is kind of known for its country clubs. It's a little bit of a golfing area. In Mills River, there's one golf course, but there's another 22 golf courses within 20 miles of Mills River, including 12 public, 2 municipal, and 7 private courses. That's a lot of golf. Residents say their favorite thing is really like the views in Mills River. You have a lot of pasture views, and also you get the mountain views. And they say they feel really safe there. They don't feel like they have to like batten everything down and keep it under lock and key all the time. They feel pretty relaxed in Mills River. Now the area is traditionally a little bit more conservative, so if that's your cup of tea, Mills River might be for you. And Mills River doesn't have a lot of diversity. So more of the diversity and the people from all over the world usually live closer to Asheville. And then, like I said, sometimes trying to get from Mills River to Asheville on I-26 can be frustrating because of that construction. But fingers crossed, that should be finished soon. Number 5, Biltmore Forest. Even though it's so close to Asheville, again, it's its own town with its own government and its own covenant and restrictions and police force even that are solid and there and available. They are currently celebrating the town's 100th anniversary, and it has a really active town hall, and the residents who live in Biltmore Forest pretty much know each other, and there's a great sense of community in the area. The town has a land area of about 2.9 square miles, and there's about 1,300 people that live there. It was originally part of the Biltmore estate, and then they sold off different lots around 1920. Because Biltmore Forest is a little bit more upscale, there are really tight zoning regulations there. You can't just put up whatever you want to. You have some restrictions that you have to abide by according to the local government. And some of those rules are in place for the betterment of the ecosystem. And some of those restrictions are in place for the preservation of the nature and in the environment. Conservation of the naturalist landscaping designed with similar influences as the Biltmore estate have been possible through adoption of tree protection ordinances and community forestry programs. Residents say, I love the beautiful old trees and the forest and the beautiful houses, the excellent location, and the ease it is to get on the Blue Ridge Parkway. It's one of Asheville's most prestigious, oldest neighborhoods. It's really close to high-rated schools, and the community has that tight-knit feel that they do events and they have neighborhood forums and know each other. And even though it's to the south of Asheville, traffic doesn't really pose a problem because you don't really have to get on I-26 from Biltmore Forest. There's different ways to exit the neighborhood that allow you to escape around it. But one of the cons of Biltmore Forest is that price points can be kind of limiting. Most of the houses there will start around the 1 million mark and only go up from there. This is where Andy McDowell lives. There are beautiful old homes, and there's this charm to Biltmore Forest of the rich history and the old forest that just make it absolutely beautiful. But I better start saving my money in order to move there. So there are so many towns that are right around Asheville that are not necessarily in the Asheville city limits. They might offer you a little bit more value for the amount of land that you get and might be a little bit more affordable while still keeping that charm of Asheville and accessibility to Asheville that you might be looking for. We help people move to Asheville all the time, and we would love to help you. So if you're considering it, please reach out to us via email or text or whatever you want, and hit that subscribe button and click that little bell. That way you can be alerted every time we make a new video that probably already interests you. Until then, ciao for now.